You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
X. Republican shreds former colleagues for allowing Trump's utterly obscene abuses, based on an article by Thomas Kika. Mining mistakes selling the office. The spoils arrive. The reporting here is simple enough to understand and ugly enough to matter. The Trump administration helped secure a Kazakhstan deal for access to tungsten mines. Federal financing moved forward for the project, and figures tied to Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump and Howard Lutnick's family stood to benefit. That is the factual core. Everything else is noise wrapped around a payoff structure. Who actually held power? The decisive actors were not random intermediaries or faceless markets. It was Trump, the Commerce Department, and the administration's financing apparatus. The source says Trump and Howard Lutnick personally helped secure Kazakhstan's agreement, while the government approved preliminary applications for up to $1.6 billion in federal financing. That is state power being used to grease a transaction whose benefits appear to flow upward into the president's family network and a cabinet secretary's family network. This is the part corruption scandals always try to blur. The office is not being abused in the abstract. It is being operated as a distribution channel. The family business model. The timing matters. Within weeks of the negotiations, investors linked to Dominari Securities, partly owned by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, acquired a stake in an entity connected to the Kazakhstan venture. Around the same time, Kent, or Fitzgerald, controlled by the Lutnick family and run by Howard Lutnick's sons, helped raise money for a related company. That is not incidental overlap. It is the governing logic of the Trump era. Access, influence, and public authority are all convertible into private financial advantage. The family names are not decorative. They are the business plan. Misdirection by design. Joe Walsh is right to call it obscene, that his real insight is even harsher. Republican leaders behave this way because they do not believe their voters care, and because they know the Republican-led Congress will do nothing. That is not cynicism as a personality trait. It is a political calculation built on enforcement failure. The usual frame would invite readers to focus on controversy, allegations, or the moral fatigue of constant scandal. That framing is too weak. The issue is not confusion. The issue is permission. When legislators refuse to punish obvious self-dealing, they do not merely tolerate corruption. They normalize it, pattern beneath it. This story is part of a larger governing pattern. Authoritarian-style impunity, family enrichment, and institutional cowardice working together. The administration uses public office to open doors. Allies in power handle the paperwork, and party officials absorb the scandal as background noise. That is how corruption becomes routine, not through one dramatic betrayal, but through repeated acts of elite insulation until theft looks like procedure. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article with the automated voice of Labritz. Thanks for listening.